الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أنبياء المرسلين سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to lesson 11 of Riyadh al-Sibyan, educating children, and we have reached the chapter on keeping good company, and he says, the author, ويحتفظ به عن الجهال وكل أهل الفسق والضلال ومن عرف بالكذب والخيانة وكل من ليست له أمانة فإن أصل أدب الأخيار حفظ الصبي عن صحبة الأشرار إذ اتباع التسريق اتباعا وكل من صاحب خبيث ضاعا وقد أتى نص عن الرسول فإن طبع المرء كالخليل. Says, by it he will be preserved from the ignorant ones and all the people of iniquity and error, or sin and error, and those known for lies and deception, and those who cannot be trusted. So, here we have to think again, it's all about preserving them from bad company in essence. People who lie, deceptive, can't be trusted, people who are people of sin, ignorant ones. So here we have to think about all the types of people that our children interact with. So obviously we're mixing with people at school, their relatives, the family, the type of cousins they have, the type of houses they visit, what type of things are they exposed to in those environments. It could be that, some households you go to and they're just playing movies which are not, they have like pictures which are not of a nature which you want your children to watch, nudity and things like that. The kind of clubs they attend, football clubs or other activities, what type of people are there, what kind of language is being used there, what kind of environment they're in, just their general friends, what are their friends like, what are the friends' families like, because that's where they're going to get their understanding of their values and principles. What are those people like? What are the types of things that they're watching? And what are the type of things that they're listening to. So all of this, everything surrounding the child, all the inputs into the child, we have to be aware of and be thinking at all times, what type of messaging are they getting? The people of the past were extremely cautious and would emphasize very much so the environment. Remember, at that time, if you lived in a village or something, it would just be the people you're hanging around with for children. But in our time, it's not just the physical, because they're not just exposed to the physical people they're around, but also the people online and the other influences that they may have. So the people of the past would be very keen on having good people around them, and believed that whatever type of people you surround yourself with, they will, whether you like it or not, influence your nature. Your nature will be influenced by the people around you. And so this idea of peers was extremely important, in the sense that the people that you are surrounded with, the people you look up to, are going to have an effect on your values and your thinking. And then the next bit was, for the foundation of the manners of the elite is protecting the child from the company of the evil. For like I said, for nature steals nature. So this idea that your nature is affected by another person's nature, right? So you're in this company, there's like 10 people, and they're all going to pray, and you're the only one who was thinking of not praying. If they all get up to pray, 9 of them, you're going to think, well, I should get up and pray as well. If you flip it and 9 of them playing video games or something, nobody's going to pray, and you're like, well, I better pray. They say, oh, just wait 5 minutes. It's okay. The game's almost finished. Okay, I'll just sit down. You see, so you're more likely to be influenced by the majority wherever you put yourself in. And so the company of the child was something that scholars in the past gave a lot of influence to it. And there's also this idea of this change now in our time, which was of collective parenting. So in a village setting, not only would you be watched by your parents about how you're behaving, but you'd be watched by other people's parents as well. And it was very, a natural, very accepted that somebody else, an elder, may see you doing something wrong as a child and be able to correct you. That type of mandate was almost given to them by your parents, right? By the child's parents. So there was this idea of collective responsibility that, okay, that is also my child, right? Their child is almost like my child. I wouldn't accept if my child were doing it, so I want to also safeguard that person's child. This feeling of helping other people and this responsibility for other people was there. And this obviously would play a pivotal role, especially where maybe one of the parents was missing, like say the child, the father had died or something. And we look at the Prophet's life himself. Both his parents died and he was just a child, and he was taken in by his uncle and his Abu Talib, and Abu Talib's wife, Fatima, also would have played like a mother type role for the Prophet ﷺ, and he's surrounded by Abu Talib's children and his cousins, and they obviously would have become like a support mechanism for him. So you can see it in the past, this collective sharing of responsibility by other people, relatives, not even just relatives, but other people in that community would have benefited the child. That somewhat died away because we kind of moved. We're not many people not living in extended families anymore. As families got bigger, they're moving out, they live by themselves, they don't interact as much as they would in the past. So that idea of collective parenting is not there as much. And then he says, for the foundation of the manners of the elite is protecting the child from the company of the evil. Again, this idea I was talking about, that if he is accustomed to good and sitting with the elect, it will be engraved onto his heart, and the opposite if he gets used to evil. So again, your company affecting your output. And he's talking about Basaldan, that the Gnostics have agreed the foundation of adab and the key to all goodness and the base of establishing exalted character is keeping company with the elect and avoidance of the company of the wicked. So I think there's another important point here, which is that don't think that by just putting them in amongst good people, the job's done. Because, if you look at the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, lots of people were around the Prophet ﷺ but couldn't recognize him. So they're in good company, but they couldn't recognize the good. So it's not just enough to put the child in good company, it definitely helps, but also the home environment. I can't stress enough, the parental input is by far going to be the strongest influence on the child's character. If they see good character from the parents, that is their primary role model. They are watching their parents all the time. They are observing the parents all the time. Whether the parents are speaking or not speaking, they're understanding, because communication is not just words, it's about how your body language is, how your tone is, how you behave. So they're picking up all of that from the parents. If they feel respected by the parents, if they feel loved by the parents, if they feel that they can go to their parents and speak to them about whatever is on their mind, then, as they grow older and they have issues, they will be able to come to you. A lot of times children, why do they go to their peers? Because there are certain things they feel they cannot say to their parents. Too much respect, they can't say that to their parents. But what happens, the parents think everything's great, but actually the child's going through some type of difficulty, only to find out later because the child can't approach the parent. So the child is going to go to somebody for advice. We have to decide, do we want to be that person that they turn to, the parent, or are we going to allow them to go to other places to get advice from their friends and so forth who are at the same level and not give the right advice? So that comes down to building that relationship. And that can't be done, when you've not done anything for 13, 14 years, all of a sudden you expect your child's going to start talking to you. No, you have to have been talking to your child from the beginning. And if you haven't been doing so, then we start today. But establish that connection, get the connection strong. If your connection is strong with your child, the connection will remain strong as they grow older. If it's weak now, it will just get weaker and they will distance themselves and you will not become an influence in their life. Other people will be. So it's extremely important. Yes, we put them in good company, but your company for them also needs to be good company. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to do that. That means we have to work on ourselves, improve our own character, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make that easy for us. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا والحمد لله رب العالمين.